So when I see repeated numbers or dream about a number or just see a number that just kind of stands out to me, it doesn't even have to be a repeating number, but it's just like a number that I see all the time, I start to take note of that. And I start to look at, what am I thinking about at the time when I see these numbers? What am I currently going through that I need to analyze? Like, I start to pay more attention to what's going on around me in my present moment. I look at this as ways for the universe to communicate with me. And it can be telling me so many different things. So I want to break it down to what each number represents and what it can be telling you when you see these repeated numbers. So the first one, let's go into 111. We've dove into numerology here on this channel before, but this is another way of diving into numerology and breaking down the meaning of numbers. So you don't always have to see triple repeating numbers or double repeating numbers. Like I said, it can be any number that stands out to you. You want to make note of it and know that the universe is trying to communicate with you and tell you something. So the first set of numbers that we have to mention, since we're going in ascending order, is 111. 111 is like your wake-up call from the divine. It's telling you to look around you. What is going on? Where are you? What did you just say? Like, what are you speaking about? What's the mood you in? How are you feeling? These are things that you need to pay attention when you see 111, because the divine is talking to you and you want to not miss out on what it may be saying. You don't want to miss out on what the universe is telling you, so you need to pay attention to everything that's going on in that moment. Who are you with? Are you with somebody that, you know, you like, you don't like, you know? So you're paying attention to all these things. You're paying attention to it even more when you catch a 111. So it's said that 111 is seen a lot of times by light workers because we spread that positivity out into the world. So we end up seeing this number a lot more because we're fulfilling our soul purpose by bringing positivity into someone's life and transforming them in just like small, simple little ways. If you don't consider yourself a light worker and you see 111 a lot, I would recommend you take a moment to reflect on the type of impact that you have into someone's life. You may bring a positive attitude, or you might uplift someone's spirit in a positive way, and you are actually right on track with what you need to be doing. So if you don't consider yourself a light worker, then maybe you need to consider and sprinkle a little bit of that positive energy and joy into people's life a little bit more. So the next number we have on the list is 222. 222, if you look at the number 2, it's a pair. We also call it a pair. When you think about a couple, those are all 2. So when you think about the number 2 and you see repeating numbers of 222, you want to think about your relationships and partnerships. So this is your relationship with your friends. This can be a romantic love relationship. You may be in connection with your soulmate. Usually the 222 shows up after you're already in communication with them. Also, you maybe need to reach out to some friends or go and network and meet new people. This is a good sign. When you see 222, pay close attention to your relationships. Also, be more balanced with the give and take, because these relationships are super important when you're seeing 222. It's the universe telling you that, hey, this is an important relationship. Please be careful. And also, be at a place of giving and receiving, so not just taking from that person or just over giving to that person. 333. You may be seeing 333 all the time and wondered, what do these numbers mean? When I think about 3, I automatically think about the Trinity. When you're seeing this number, this can mean that you need to find balance, right? Because when you have it together, that Holy Trinity, it represents balance between all of them. And so you want to pay attention to maybe what are you focusing on the most right now. Maybe you're overindulging or putting too much time and energy into one thing and not balancing out other things. This could be the relationship. If you're seeing 222 and 333, it may be that the relationship, you're putting too much into that relationship and you're losing yourself, which I feel like a lot of times we do. We end up getting into a new relationship. It's nice, it's fun, it's, you know, and then we get besides ourselves a little bit. We kind of lose ourselves by wanting to be around that person a lot, wanting to spend time with them and do things with them, and in the end it kind of ends up with us feeling a little empty, because now we've created these habits and patterns with this person in our lives, and if they're not around anymore, then it becomes hard. Or we can end up being resentful because now we don't have that time for ourselves, or we kind of lose touch with things that we really love to do, and we're no longer doing that. Next, we have 444. You guys know that I'm a life path number 4, so I like to see this number. But 444 represents home and family. So if you're seeing 444, pay attention to your home. Is there some things that you need to do around your house? Do you need to clean and declutter? You probably need to check in on one of your closest friends, your family. How are they doing? When you're seeing 444, maybe take a moment to send a little love to your loved ones, or just pick up your phone and call them. Also, maybe you need to stay home a little bit more. Maybe you need to kind of just work through some things and work on yourself and have some self-love, self-care time. Also, when you see 444, you should think about probably nostalgia. What are some lessons that you learned from your past that can benefit you now by just remembering about it and implementing them into this moment? The next number you may be seeing is 555. 555 represents change. 5 is that number of change and new beginnings and wanting to start on a new path. So maybe if you're seeing 555 all the time, travel somewhere new, take up a new hobby, meet some new friends, try a new restaurant. Try something new. This is for change, and we welcome change. We aren't afraid of change over here. We are happy and receptive to change. So if you're seeing 555, there is going to be a shift in your life. There may be things that's changing, or maybe you need to try something new. All right, so we're moving along. The next number we have to mention is 666. I take this deep sigh because I know, like, according to like the stigma of the number 666, we represent this with like some horror movie, and it's like an evil number and it's all evil, when it is the exact opposite. 6, when you look at the number 6, right, it represents, I'm gonna tell you what it represents and then I'll tell you. Okay, when you look at the number 6, it goes around and it represents like the portion of the 6 that goes around like a little O or whatever, represents the womb. The number 6 is very nurturing, and it's connected to optimism and new beginning. The number 6 is actually a very positive number. It represents positivity and nurturing. A lot of times you're seeing 666 when you're about to start a new family, or if you're in a new relationship, or newly engaged or newly married. 666 is that nurturing connectedness, and it's actually a great and positive number. When you're seeing 666 a lot, it is a direct reflection that the relationship that you are cultivating, whether this be in your womb with a baby or with a partner, this is going to be very transformative for you, and it helps with the growth for both you and that person. All right, so our next number on the list is 777. If you're seeing repeated numbers of 7, or even when I think about the 7, 7 is like that lucky number. So lucky number 7, this is what it represents. So when you're seeing 777, just think lucky number 7, and this represents that something good is going to be happening in your life with very minimal effort. Luck, if you rather call it. Something is going to happen. The universe is aligning for things to go in your favor without you having to do too much work. If you're seeing 777, this is your opportunity to give yourself a little bit more self-love, self-care, a little bit more attention. Dive into the ways that you've been feeling, some of the habits that maybe don't serve you anymore, or some of the things that you might want to change in the near future. It is time to work on it. All right, so number 8, or if you're seeing 888, this is all about creation and building. As you see the 8, it's just like the infinity symbol turned vertically. If you turn the number 8 horizontally, it will be the infinity symbol. So it represents eternal life. So when you're seeing 888, you do want to focus on some goals and some actual things that you want to do to achieve your goals, your long-term goals, your short-term goals. Also, this has to do with building and creation. So when you're seeing 888, it's the best time to try to manifest and putting those goals into actual action plans on how you're going to achieve them. Also, seeing 888 can mean that there is a shift in your mentality that is about to take place. Maybe this might be a belief that you had about something that is now changing. Maybe this might be something that, like a veil being removed from your eyes, that you were blinded to see something a certain way, but now you have clarity and you're able to see it all the way through. All right, now our last and final number is 9. If you are seeing 9 or 999, this represents, the number 9 already represents philanthropy and compassion. This may be itching you to start some volunteer work. Maybe you want to do one day at the soup kitchen, or you want to do a give back in some type of way. 9s represents that volunteer work. 9s, when repeated number, also represents having empathy and having an impact on people's lives, whether it be a small group or a wide spread of people. 9s are also great for you to switch your perspective on how you see something and be able to compromise in ways. All right, so those are the numbers from 111 to 999. I'm sure we can dive into more numbers and synchronicities and things like that. But just know that the divine has a message for you when you are constantly seeing these synchronicities, and just pay attention to them. And if you understand numerology and what numbers mean, regardless of if they're repeated or single, if you're seeing these numbers, you will know what they mean. Comment down below some numbers that you've been seeing a lot lately. What are some synchronicities that you've been really seeing a lot? I look forward to seeing you on the next video. Until then, remember, change starts in your mind. You change your mind and you change your entire life, honey. Love you, and I'll see you next week.